because what we found was that there were tens of billions, maybe hundreds of billions of dollars that were zombie payments. So they're like somebody had approved a payment, somebody in the government approved a payment, and some recurring payment, and they retired or died or changed jobs, and no one turned the money off.
Now, when you started getting into the Doge stuff and started finding how much money is being shuffled around and moved around to NGOs and how much money is involved and just totally untraceable funds, like this is, again, something like 2 years plus ago, you weren't aware of it all?
No, I was aware of it. I just didn't realize how big it was. It's just how much waste and fraud there is in the government is truly vast. In fact, the government didn't even know, nor did they care.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And
I mean, just like some of the very basic stuff that Doge did will have lasting effects. And some of these things, like they're so elementary you can't believe it. So the Doge team got most of the main payments computers to require the congressional appropriation code. So when a payment is made, you have to actually enter the congressional appropriation code. That used to be optional, and often would be just left blank. So the money would just go out, but it wasn't even tied to a congressional appropriation. Then Doge team also made the comment field for the payment mandatory. So you have to say something. We're not saying that what is said, like you can say anything. Your cat could run across the keyboard. You could go QWERTY ASDF, but you have to say something above nothing, because what we found was that there were tens of billions, maybe hundreds of billions of dollars that were zombie payments. So they're like somebody had approved a payment, somebody in the government approved a payment, and some recurring payment, and they retired or died or changed jobs, and no one turned the money off. So the money would just keep going out, and it's a pretty rare.
And go where?
To a company or an individual. And it's a pretty rare company or individual who will complain that they're getting money that they should not get. And a bunch of the money was just going to were transfer payments to the states.
So these are automatic payments.
Just automatic payments.
No accounting for them at all.
Like imagine like there's an automatic debit of your credit card, and you never look at the statement.
Right.
So it's just money going out. That's why I call them zombie payments. So in a bunch of cases, there are fraud rings that operate, professional fraud rings that operate to exploit the system. They figure out some security hole in the system, and they just do professional fraud. That's where we found, for example, people who were, 300 years old in the Social Security Administration database. We know that one of two things must be true: that either there's a mistake in the computer, or it's fraud.
So there's multiple layers.
Yes.
The Social Security number verifies that this is a real person.
Right.
And then the other systems check up on
every other government payment and every other government payment system for everything, for, like I said, small business administration, student loans, Medicaid, Medicare, every other government payment, of which there are many. There are actually hundreds of government payment systems, can all be exploited so long as Social Security database says this person is alive. That's the nature of the scam. It's a bank shot. So then the rebuttal from the Dems is like, oh, well, the vast majority of the people who are marked as alive in the Social Security Administration weren't receiving Social Security Administration payments. That is true. What they forgot to mention is they're getting fraudulent payments from every other government program. And that's why the Dems were so opposed to turning off, to declaring someone dead who was dead, because it would stop the entire all the other fraud from happening. And
so, but all this, is it trackable? Like all this other fraud,
it's
if
totally
they
trackable.
wanted to, they could chase it all down.
Yeah, it's not even hard.
And yet they're opposing chasing it all down.
They're opposing chasing it all down because it turns off the money magnet for the illegals.
Wow.
Because it's very logical to like I'm saying the most common sense things possible. If someone's got a birthday in Social Security that is an impossible birthday, meaning they are older than the oldest living American or were born in the future, then you should call them and say, excuse me, we seem to have your birthday wrong because it says that you're 200 years old. That's all you need to do.
And then you would remove them from the Social Security database and make that number no longer available for all those other government payments.
Exactly.
Wow.